Denver Broncos have the
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Cincinnati. For the call, we bring in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles.
Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Denver Broncos and the Cincinnati Bengals. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden. To my left, Charles Davis. And Charles, you focus on this Bengal team entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, they've handled all comers through the first 3 months, a perfect 12-0.
Yeah, they're 3/4 of the way to a perfect season, and now's where it really starts to get into your mind. We'll see if it affects their play in any way.
Of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for University Horned Frog, Andy Dalton.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
The former second-round pick. Here now the offense for the Bengals.
The backfield is Joe Mixon, and he was a valuable commodity coming out of the University of Oklahoma because of his ability to be so versatile. Can run it inside with power, gets to the perimeter and can outrun people, catches the ball not only out of the backfield, but you can split him out just like he would be a receiver. And I think if he wanted to dedicate himself, he'd be an all-pro kick returner.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target, and it's 3rd and 5. Defensively, we check the starters now for Denver. They were very good in the win over Dallas a week ago.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks, and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Here's Dalton. He finds his running back, Mixon. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That'll back him up 2 yards.
Now, when they weren't back on their heels reacting to the play, no, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10. First down, Murray. He'll get this into the hands of Travis Fulgham. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 23 yards, the final tally. Murray now on first down. This left side caught by Fulgham. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On 1st and 10, here's Murray. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Murray going to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes goes down once more. Sam Hubbard making his presence felt in the backfield. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down. Went backwards. It's third and very long. Here's Murray. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Fighting through it. He's got space. And all the way home for a Bronco score. Kyler Murray, 38 yards. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I
don't have nerves at the start of the game. It's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
A good pick up there, 26 yards. So a first and 10 now in Denver territory at the 49-yard line. Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here. Now on second and 13. Dalton, as they've got it with a second and 13 forthcoming. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Passing, it's Dalton. And this is going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Barry on the punt as he gets this one away. And now Edelman. A great return there of 22 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up first and 10. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did.
And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Travis Fulgham with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Broncos push further out in front.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Looking to throw again on second down. Dalton caught. Eifert over the middle. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. Dalton, 1st and 10. It's brought in left side by Tate. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Dalton saying, let's get going here, guys, as he rallies them to get set. To throw again on 2nd down. Dalton. That's sacked by Khalil Mack. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
No, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on, how about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way. Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Andy Dalton. He gets this into the hands of Kirkwood. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Throwing, Dalton. And that is incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
They'll try to pass on 4th down. Dalton, that's to his running back, complete. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And the Broncos will take over on downs. Well, down 2 touchdowns already. I guess they felt they needed to go for it, but still early, still first half.
I think conventional wisdom says, look, as you point out, you got a whole half to play. Hang in there. Don't give up any more points in this situation. Do a little adjusting at the half and come out ready to go. But sometimes those coaches can just sense their team. Maybe they're a little flat or they need a little extra inspiration. And he decided to go for it there to try and kickstart things.
So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. On the right hash, officially, this will be a 51-yard attempt. And this one for the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will it be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'm going to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We start with 2 teams that played for the AFC Championship in years gone by. The Chargers traveling to Pittsburgh. And it's the Steelers out in front in the 2nd quarter. Juju Smith-Schuster, a touchdown reception. From there, we head over to Detroit. Check on the Lions at home, Ford Field. And in that one, it's the visiting Giants who have the lead. 2 touchdown passes there for Teddy Ballgame. Lastly, we head to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. Check on the Patriots. And they trail in that ball game to the visiting Tennessee Titans. 2 touchdown passes there for Marcus Mariota. In the game you're watching, it was the former #1 overall selection, Kyler Murray, who put on an absolute show. His guys have the lead as we get you back to Cincinnati for the start of the 3rd quarter. Here's Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Throwing now is Murray. Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 18 big yards on that one and a Denver first.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
And he takes us just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? It sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Murray, strong running. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Obviously a big play was needed, and you can see his eyes light up as he realized there's absolutely no one in front of him. And he takes off and goes a long way. Not only does he pick up a first down, but a big gain to boot.
Murray now to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Travis Fulgham with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Broncos push further out in front. Extra point from McManus is good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. 5 plays there on that drive. And it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
On 2nd and 11 now. Dalton got his man. It's Eifert. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. Mixon hit, and the ball is out. It's picked up by the Broncos. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding it.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. T.J. Hockenson. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Quarterback loves the receivers, but sometimes his best friend is that tight end.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, isn't it? Because we always talk about the guys out wide and how acrobatic they are. But that tight end, great sight lines, easier throws, they become a bigger and bigger weapon as the NFL.
McManus's point after is good, and the lead will swell by 1 more. A nice tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only 1 play to score it. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Again, it's Mixon. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold him.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 3rd and 11. And some extra depth in the secondary here. They're in the dime. Back now in Cincinnati. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. Dalton here from the gun. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back.
The sweet taste of death is so good.
Set to return.
Wonder what I'm going to join the list of people.
12 yards on the return that time.
It's not even normal inconsistencies like killing people.
Checking things elsewhere. 3rd quarter now from U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis.
It's a freaking black market excuses that people are getting that's killing you.
Murray now on 1st down.
That's why I'm not a
2
statistic.
touchdown passes to lead the way. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down. What a throw right there for the 1st down. He has taken some real punishment in this game, but still standing in the pocket, completing that one.
He's a flat-out warrior. There's no question about that. How about him stepping up into the teeth of the rush and delivering there for that big strike and that big pickup?
He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
He's going to rifle one deep left, and this is caught inside the 5.
Ooh.
A big pickup of 38. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the...
And give them another 6. It's caught for
Myers is my intended target.
The blowout continues. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this.
Learned that from the freaking broadcast I was watching from yesterday.
But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them.
I make it work.
It's a lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
Let's just talk about how I'm actually using a strategy that's actually working.
Get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengal offense on their way out as we look at the playoff race in the AFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
And now a throw here.
Hey, get online, dude. I want to talk to you.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. And
Khalil Mack in it again for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Khalil Mack in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown.
Yes, it does.
That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on
Go
defense.
for on 4th down.
They were suffocating there again.
Thomas has other ideas.
Not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able
Dive in
to
that
adjust
end zone. You're safe
anything they tried to
anyways.
throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point.
Perfect all year long.
A while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6.
Sargis, keep on watching this game, Samuel. You know you would know how to do this a lot better. Although I do like your broadcast, I do like how you're trying to do it. I like how you're trying to go for on 4th down. You're only 1 for 3.
It certainly is. You got to get points.
And the ball is knocked out. The Broncos say they have it. They do.
Yeah.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the 4th quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. They find some open field here. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the defensive unit now for the Broncos as they get set here. They are looking to preserve this shutout, so for them, a lot on the line.
A lot on the line, a lot of pride that goes into that. Because let's face it, when you've had that kind of a day, you do not want any type of a fluke play to end it. You're going to win the game. That's not the issue. But to have a clean ledger going into the locker room and sitting in film next week, oh, that's satisfying.
Good.
Oh, that's the way to do it.
They're looking to cradle that goose egg. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a first down on a gain of 10. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a Scotia credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. It's do or die for Dalton. Green's got it over the
Die.
middle. So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, up a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Broncos, the streak lives as they move to 13-0 now on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Philly to take on the Eagles. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they lose their 9th game on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again.
We're
it's the
here
NFL
live
on EA Sports.